Hello everyone, this is Dr. Milind Peshwe, Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. Today we are going to discuss about small business management. So we start with the introduction to small business management. Let's begin with the definition of small businesses. They are privately owned corporations. They could be either partnerships or small proprietorship that have fewer employees or whose annual turnover is less than the bigger business corporation. So that is how you differentiate a small business from a bigger business. Now let's take a few examples that could fall in the category of small businesses. Retail operations such as convenience stores, small grocery stores, bakeries, hairdressers, trade people like carpenters, electricians, restaurants, guest houses, photographers. So you have a wide list of small businesses, the so-called street vendors, the so-called shops that you see on the street. So all these fall into the category of small businesses. See, one more category of small businesses are some professional operators like lawyers, accountants, dentists, medical doctors who have their own small businesses. A lawyer may have an office, an accountant may have an office, a dentist may have a dispensary, a medical doctor may have his dispensary. So all these professionals also come into the category of small businesses. Now let's understand what is the difference between a big business and a small business. The first differentiating factor is on the size of the business. Any business would be termed small, like we said saw in the definition, which has a smaller employee base or which has a small annual revenue. So this is the biggest differentiating factor between a small business and a large business. A large business may have a revenue on a very large amount, whereas a small business has very small revenue generation. On the basis of the legal structure of a business, larger businesses may have a legal organizational structure. They have a more legal structure when it comes to employees working into organization or number of branches of that particular organization in a particular geographical location. So based on this parameter, it could be differentiated. The next parameter of differentiating is the finance requirement for small businesses and large businesses. Obviously, because the small businesses are smaller in size, the requirement of finance is also small. Unlike the larger businesses which require huge financing capitals, so that could be one of the differentiating factor between big businesses and small businesses. Another major differentiating factor is the market niche. Larger businesses have a bigger market and they go to a wider spectrum of that particular market. Whereas small businesses may target into a niche market or a smaller segment of that particular market. So these could be the few parameters of differentiation between a big business house and a small business house. Now let's see what are the essential requirements that people should possess before you start a small business. First and foremost, you need to have a college degree or an expertise into that particular profession. For example, like we saw, doctors also fall into the category of a small business. But obviously a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer or a dentist would not be qualified as a small businessman unless and until he possesses a degree or the expertise required in that particular profession. So the first essential requirement is you acquire a college degree or an expertise in that profession in which you want to start a small business. Entrepreneur skills. Now, since you're going to go into a business house, you would want to develop your particular business, organize that particular business, and you need to possess those kind of entrepreneur skills by which you would want to grow your business or run that particular business. So this is a skill set which you will have to acquire before you start small businesses. Communication skills, a very important aspect which which is required in the day-to-day life, especially in the business life. You will have to communicate with your vendors, you will have to communicate with your customers, you will have to do a lot of internal communication in the organization. And the key success of these organizations depends upon the level of communication skills that that particular person possesses. So you need to have great communication skills to start a small business. Organizational skills, because you are into a business, you will have to run it. You will have to employ people, you will have to create an organizational structure. So these organizational skills, it could be all the management skills that are required to manage the business. So you need to acquire these skills before you begin a small business. Last but not the least, the analytical skills required. You will have to do a lot of analysis once you start the business. That could be analysis about the market, that could be analysis about the product, That could be analysis about the employees. That could be analysis about your productivity. That could be analysis about your revenue, your profits. So these analytical skills are required, because unless and until you have good analytical skills, you will not be able to take your business on track. So you need to possess all these 5 skills before you take a decision to venture into a small business. We will see a small video now, which will give clarity on what is the importance of these small businesses. We all know that in today's world, small businesses hold a very important place. So let us understand from this video how important it is.
The importance of small business, brought to you by the Innovation Connector. What do you think of when you hear the word business? You probably think of certain brands or companies you interact with every day, like Walmart, Apple, or General Motors. These are what would be considered big businesses, companies that employ thousands of people all across the country. If they decide to set up shop, they can provide hundreds of jobs to local communities. But unfortunately, big businesses are often vulnerable to changing market conditions and economic cycles, which can lead to widespread job loss or even recession. If big businesses pose such a big risk, should communities look to them for stability? What if small business, more than big business, holds the future for economic growth? Small business includes companies with anywhere from 1 to 500 employees. But don't let the numbers fool you. Small business is more important than you think. You see, American business is overwhelmingly small business. Small businesses make up 99.7% of all U.S. employer firms, and businesses with less than 20 workers make up 89.6%. These businesses pull their weight in the market. The 28 million small businesses in America account for 54% of all U.S. sales. Small business is also crucial for job creation. Since the 1970s, small business has provided 55% of all jobs and 66% of all net new jobs. And since 1990, while big business has eliminated 4 million jobs, small business has added 8 million jobs. It's clear small business has a big impact on the economy. Because small business is a vital part of any community, as well as a viable alternative to big business, having a place that fosters small businesses and allows them to grow is equally vital. That's where business incubators come in. Business incubators provide critical help to small businesses at their most vulnerable time, reducing the risk of failure. 87% of firms that graduate from business incubators are still in business after 5 years. Business incubators also bring revenue back into the community. For every $1 of public spending at an incubator, $30 is generated in local tax revenue. The Innovation Connector has been serving small businesses in Muncie, Indiana, and surrounding Delaware County since 2002.
Just to summarize the importance of small businesses, these are growing into the country, especially for a developing country like India, where there would be a few big businesses, but the major contributor towards the economy is the small business community. So small businesses are growing, especially in a country like India, which is a developing country. The biggest advantage of small business, or the importance of small business, is in its capacity of employing local workers. Small businesses normally have a local presence. When they have a local presence, they tend to employ local workers or employees within that particular geographical location. And they have, because of this ability to employ local workers, it might gain a lot of importance. It is adaptable to the changing climate. Unlike larger business houses, small business are more flexible, and they could change their business modules based on the climatic conditions of the external world. It could be responding to the government regulations. It could be responsive to the climatic conditions. It could be responsive to the seasonal requirement of the market. So small businesses have a greater adaptability towards changing climate. It contributes immensely to the local government with taxes. The taxes that come from small businesses, it could be direct taxes or indirect taxes, have been very big contributors towards the government taxes. And that is the reason the government earns a lot of revenue to these small businesses. There is a chance that a small business would eventually grow into a bigger corporation. When a business is started, on a very humble note, they are smaller in size, they are smaller in revenue generation, they are smaller in their contribution towards their taxes. But gradually, these businesses could go into a bigger business category or could get converted into bigger corporations. And that is why a country like India needs a lot of such small businesses, which has a potential of growing big in the near future. Now let's understand what are the different benefits of small businesses. First and foremost, faster time response to customer needs. We all know that our customers are always demanding. And because the small businesses are more flexible to the customer needs, their response time to these particular customers is also faster. Unlike a big business house, if the customer has a particular need, that need passes from the point of delivery to the higher ups, maybe toward the level of the board. And by the time the decision is made and it percolates down to the grassroots level, probably the need of that particular decision is lost. And that is the reason small businesses are more responsive towards the customer needs. Ability to offer personal ongoing services to the customer. Because of the flexibility that these small businesses have, they could customize services for their customers. Normally, bigger business houses, it becomes very difficult to customize services for a particular customer. But small business has this capacity of customization of services, of personalization of services to their existing customers. Expertise at a lesser cost. It could be a doctor, it could be a professional, or it could be any kind of a small business. All these are run by experts. We all know that. And the cost that a customer will have to pay if he goes to a small business would be much lesser than that he would have to pay when he goes for a larger business. So you can probably get an expertise at a lesser cost if you approach the small business. Lower overhead costs. We all know that small businesses make a very humble beginning. And that is the reason they have much lower overhead costs. Whatever costs they put into the organization to run that particular business are much lower than what it goes into a bigger business. More flexible. We all know that the flexibility of operations is much higher when it comes to small businesses. Quick to react to changing market conditions. We all know that the market conditions are very dynamic. The market changes very frequently. The customers change very frequently, their needs change frequently, their requirements change frequently, and any business house who are able to adapt to the changing market conditions would probably succeed in the near future. So because of the flexible approach of small businesses, they are quick to react to these changing market conditions. They can work more closely with the customers to correct the company's shortcomings. Customer is giving you feedback all the time. Customer may be complaining, or it could be a general feedback about the organization's product or the policies of the organization. Because of the flexibility nature of the small businesses, they can closely work with the customers. They can have a one-on-one dialogue with the customers and probably bridge all the gaps that they have into the company or the shortcomings they have into the company. So these could be the benefits of small businesses. Of course, every business would have pros and cons. So we spoke about the benefits. Now let us discuss the limitations that small businesses have over larger businesses. The first and foremost is that it has less brand recognition. We all know that bigger the brand, the more market share it is going to have. This is the biggest limitation that small businesses have. Because they are smaller, their presence in the market is smaller, and they have a lesser brand image, and they have a lesser market share. Their visibility is also low into the market. So this is the biggest drawback that a small business may have. They suffer from less visibility. Larger businesses have huge marketing budgets. They can put up hoardings in cities. They can put up advertisements in newspapers. They can have television advertisements. But because small businesses work on very limited budgets, they probably do not have these options available to them. Because they are not in the capacity to put an advertisement, their visibility is comparatively lower compared to small businesses. They experience higher cost. We all know that the major cost of hiring is the material cost and the labor cost. But when it comes to bigger organization, because their revenue generation is very high, these costs, what they incur, they could have a collective bargain and they could have bargaining power to cover their cost in a very less expenditure. Whereas in small businesses, they really have to pay a larger percentage of their cost towards revenue. Why? Because they do not have the bargaining capacity. They are not the so-called big giants, and they do not have the bargaining power to bargain with their suppliers or to probably give a competitive rate to their customers. And that is the reason they experience higher costs. They have smaller budgets. It's a very humble beginning. We all know sometimes it is a sole proprietor, one person putting in the capital investment required for that particular business. And that is the reason that is always going to be smaller than the bigger business houses. So obviously the budgets, the expenditure budgets that these businesses are going to have are going to be much smaller. Sometimes it comes into the path of growth, because the smaller the budgets, the limited growth that you can achieve in your business. So because these businesses have smaller budgets, they probably grow at a very gradual pace. They cannot compete on price. Larger business houses are basically the price makers. They are the ones who could probably give a reasonable price to their consumers because they have the capacity to absorb losses if at all they incur losses. They also have the capacity to incur higher costs. They also have a capacity to work on wafer thin margins because they work on volumes, they work on volume sales. And that is the reason this particular factor is absent with small businesses, because they cannot really work on larger volumes and they really cannot work on wafer thin margins, and their cost component is higher, so they really cannot compete the price market. Because they do not have the capacity to absorb the losses if at all they try to compete on the price market. There are a lot of failures that people encounter when they venture into small business. A lot of these failures are probably because of external factors, but there could be a lot of factors within the organization because of which failures do happen. So in this particular slide, we are going to concentrate on the reasons for failures in small business. We start with lack of experience. Small business houses are basically people with lesser experience. They have just begun their business. Because sometimes they have less experience, they are not able to foresee the future business conditions. They are not able to foresee a lot of things which are required by a particular business. They have not gone through the pitfalls into the particular business, and that is the reason lack of business expertise expertise and experience would probably be one of the major reasons for failures in small business. Poor financial control. We all know that financial control is a very important tool for any kind of a business. You need to have a great control on your finances. The cash flow requirement for your business, you have to have a great control on. Because some of these small business houses have a lot of things to do, and that is the reason they lack that kind of a control on their finances. And that could be one of the reasons for failures of small businesses. Poor leadership. We all know that these business houses are small. They do not have MBA graduates. They do not have great managers. They do not have great leaders to lead that particular business. So because of poor leadership, probably businesses may fail. Growing too fast. It is good to be ambitious, but if you tend to be over ambitious, it may cost your company survival for it. So you have to be very careful when you decide to grow your business. Do you have the required expertise to grow the business? Do you have the potential to grow the business? Based on that, you have to take a call how to grow your business. Too fast growth would probably require the shutters to be pulled down for a particular business. Bad or no strategy. Planning is very important for any business. You need to have strategic planning if you really want to plan your business for the future. Sometimes it does happen that the owners of small businesses do not possess those required skills wherein you can predict the future and plan strategies today. And if you do not possess these skills, probably there could be a failure in your business and you might have to pull down the shutters. Insufficient commitment. There are people who venture into multiple small businesses. In this particular situation, what happens is that they are not able to concentrate on all their businesses. And because of their lack of commitment, they could not fine tune their businesses as per the requirement of the market and as per the requirement of the industry. That could be one of the reasons for failures of small businesses. Lack of expertise. We spoke about expertise. We spoke about experience. If you lack expertise, you will not be able to survive into the competitive market. And there could be a possibility that you might fade off eventually. So you have to be very careful on this front. Lack of proper planning. Planning is required if you want your business to grow. It could be manpower planning, it could be revenue planning, it could be sales planning, it could be financial planning, it could be human resource planning. All these plannings are important. If you're unable to plan properly for your business, you might have to lead to a failure. So these could be a typical reasons for failures of small businesses. If you're able to concentrate on each one of these reasons and try and nullify these reasons, try and work on these weaknesses, then probably you can have great success in small businesses. Let's understand what could be the different small business opportunities in hospitality industry. Starting with quick service restaurants. Quick service restaurants could be international quick service restaurant franchisees, or it could be Indian quick service restaurant franchisees. So you can take up a franchisee of an international brand, or you can start a quick service restaurant of your own. It could be a snack bar or something like that, and you could venture into a small business. Food courts, cafes, lounges, and bars. This is another category, a most explored category. Small cafes, small food courts could be a great opportunity to begin a particular business in the food industry. It could come into the category of small business and eventually you decide to go. Catering industry. Catering is a big time industry when it comes to banquet catering or when it comes to bulk catering. So there are a lot of caterers in town who started as a small business and eventually they created their name into the market. Agrotourism is also one of the biggest opportunities that people might have in the hospitality industry currently. We all know that we are going back to our roots. So agrotourism is picking up grounds and you can venture into agrotourism into the sector of hospitality. Facilities management. A lot of big corporates outsource their facility management services. So you could be a service provider to these big companies and take care of their facilities. These could be facilities like housekeeping, catering services, or maintenance of infrastructure or something like that. So these are small facility management companies who cater to these big corporates and they make a humble start there. Event management. Event management is also gaining ground in the current days. A lot of people, a lot of corporates have a lot of events happening throughout the year. So these small businesses can tap this opportunity and manage their events on their behalf. So if you're able to capture these business houses or the local clientele, you can take care of their events and could probably venture into event management company. Restaurants. There are a range of restaurants which could be available in a particular city. It could be a specialty restaurant, or it could be a fine dine restaurant, or it could be a regular food restaurant. So these restaurant industry is also one of the major opportunity in the small businesses which people could explore. Thank you very much for joining me on this today's video. Hope you subscribe me on my videos and happy learning. Thank you very much.